Ever get up in the morning and wonder what you're gonna have for breakfast and you just don't know? Well, every now and then you can just clean out your refrigerator and make a frittata. A frittata is nothing but a quiche without a crust. That's what we're gonna do today. So get ready and let's go. All right, y'all, so everything we're gonna use, you probably got in your refrigerator right now. I've got eggs, I got a little bit of sausage, I got some heavy cream, some cheese, some scallions, butter, and an onion. That's it, and a little bit of spice, salt, pepper, and some oregano. Let's do this thing. First things first, let's get this onion going and get it into a skillet. And we're gonna saute this bad boy down. All right, y'all, so we got these onions all cut up. Let's get them into the skillet. But to get them there without tossing, making a mess, I'm just gonna throw them in here so we can transport them across. Nice and easy. I'm gonna take a little bit of butter with me because I'm gonna throw some butter in the pan along with a little bit of olive oil. And I'm using both, the olive oil and the butter. I want the olive oil for the heat point, and I want the butter for the flavor per bite. So let's get this melted down. Once it melts, we'll get those onions in. All right, so I'm gonna get these onions into our skillet. I'm just gonna saute these guys down. All right, y'all, so we got our onions on the back caramelizing. Hear them sizzling in the back. So meanwhile, what we're gonna do to save a little bit of time, I've got about 6 ounces of white cheddar, and I've got some scallions I'm gonna chop up. So let's get these scallions cut up. I'm gonna use all of it, the green and the white. I've already cut the ends off of it. So I'm just gonna cut these up, and we're gonna use these guys in our batter. We'll make it, but first thing, let's get our cheese rolling too. So 6 ounces of cheddar. I'm using white cheddar. It's this cheddar is out of the New England area, but it's just got a really, really good texture and a real good feel. Use any cheese you like. I'm using cheddar. You can use Gruyere, you can use jalapeno, you can use yellow cheddar, sharp, whatever feels good to you. This is what I've got in the kitchen, and this is one of my favorite cheddar cheeses too. This is what I'm using. All right, so this is about, again, 6 ounces. I'm gonna grate it. You can use that stuff in the bag. A lot of times it just don't taste the same. It's got all that extra preservatives and fillers in there. This, when you get a block cheese, it's just gonna taste a little bit better. Better ingredients, better results. All right, so there you go. So there's our cheddar. Hey y'all, so everything's all cut up. Let's just get it all mixed together. So I got about 9 eggs. You could use egg whites if you don't like whole eggs. It's gonna taste just the same. I'm using 9, you could use about 9 eggs. All right, so let's get our cream in. 16 ounces of heavy whipping cream. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my salt and pepper. So I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of salt, about a teaspoon of fresh cracked black pepper, and about a teaspoon of dried oregano. That is it. And now it's gonna mix. All right, y'all, it's been about 35, 40 minutes on those onions. They've been going nice and slow over a medium-low heat, and we're trying to caramelize the onions. That means we want them to get like a nice golden brown. When you caramelize an onion, they get sweet. You won't even know what's in this thing. The texture changes, the flavor changes. So let's go check it out and get them off. All right, these have been going over a medium-low heat for about 35, 40 minutes. That's what I'm looking for. See the texture? That was 1 onion, about 2 cups of onions. And when you bite into that in this quiche, it's just gonna have a slight bite, but it's more buttery than anything else at this point. All right, y'all, we got everything ready to go. So let's assemble. So first things first, we'll make this easy. So I'm gonna pour my batter into this mixing bowl just to simplify the process of getting it into the pan. We're ready to get everything into the pan, but first things first, if we're gonna put this in, we gotta get it out. So to make sure you can get it out, I'm gonna put a little bit of spray in this bad boy. Hey, now look here. This pan's got a story behind it. This little pie plate. As much as I like cooking, there's probably one thing I like a little bit better. Go into the thrift store, Used to be a time where I'd go to the thrift store probably almost every day. I did it for lunch. Instead of going to lunch, I would go to the thrift store. 15 minutes in, 15 minutes out, right back. Hey, but that's that. Hey, $1.50. Or you can go to the big box stores or to those like the Williams-Sonomas of the world and all those other stores and spend 30, 40 bucks. Take some time and go thrifting. You know what you donate, someone's got to buy it. So keep donating because I'm going to keep buying. Hey, but here's what we're going to do. We're going to get this on in layers. So I'm going to do a couple of layers of this. I'm going to put down about half of our sausage first. Just going to spread it out into the pan. And you can just eyeball this. So about half of it. Best tool in the hand in the kitchen besides your knife, it's going to be your hands. Good clean hands will take you a long way. I'm going to do about half of my caramelized onions. So, and just spread those little fellas out as best you can. So about half of those, we're just going to spread them out so everybody gets a little bit when they go to bite into it. And half of our cheese, just making a layer. And then for a little bit of freshness, I'm going to throw some scallions in that we cut up earlier. All right, so layer one, almost done. Half the batter. So this is about 32 ounces. Remember when we started, we had 9 eggs and we had our heavy whipping cream, about 16 ounces of that. So I'm just pouring it right in there. And I'm gonna eyeball, and since I'm measuring, I'm doing about half of this. And what I'm gonna do, before I put this next layer in, I'm gonna give it one more stir. Okay, but layer two. Rest of our sausage goes into the pie plate. Just spread it out kind of even. All right, good enough there. And the rest of our onions going in. And just kind of evenly spread them as you go. Eyeball it. Not rocket science, we're just cooking. If you got some other vegetables in your refrigerator, add them. If you don't like onions, don't use them. I caramelized them, so it's gonna, for all the onion haters out there, you probably won't even know they're in there because they won't taste like an onion. All right, so here we go. Rest of our cheese. Right in. Doing about half of it. Easy frittata. And then the rest of our, little bit of our scallions, what's left. Get those fellas in and mixed around. All right. And then the rest of our batter. One last thing. Just to keep that batter nice and fluffy, I'm gonna give it one more little stir. All right. And then let's just pour it in. And while we were waiting, I stepped outside and grabbed some chives out of my little herb garden, just right outside that door. And I'm gonna add those on top just to pretty it up a little bit. So let's just take a few scallions and just lay them in randomly. And they'll just give it a little another appearance. And add a little bit more flavor. So we're laying in lots of different onions. We got the caramelized onions, we got the scallions, now we got some chives that we've added into. All right, we're ready to go into the oven. All right, y'all, so we got a sheet pan. And before we put this in the oven, I'm gonna put a little bit of parchment paper onto this sheet pan and then get this fella on here. Now the reason I wanna use this parchment paper is just in case the frittata starts to bubble over and gets onto my pan, it's a little bit easier to clean things up. That's the only reason we're doing it. All right, so oven's been preheated to 325. Time to get this fella into the oven. We're gonna let it go for about 45 minutes, 40, maybe 50 minutes, we'll see. But we're gonna do it until a fork comes out clean or a knife comes out clean. And when it does, we're ready to go. Let's do it. All right, our quiche is about ready to come out of the oven. truth is, it took longer than 45 minutes. Remember, every oven cooks a little bit differently. This one took about an hour. Let's get it out. It's looking pretty good. Just to make sure, I'm gonna poke it one more time. So I'm using a knife. It's not bad. That's what I'm looking for. We could check it with a toothpick, so let's do it so I can show you what it looks like both ways. All right, y'all, so we got a toothpick. So let's give it a toothpick try. See how that comes out. Poke it in, comes out nice and clean. That's what you want to see. Hey, so now we wait. Give it about 15, 20 minutes for it to cool down. And after it cools down, we're gonna slice it, we're gonna taste it. Frittata on the table. Hey y'all, frittata's ready. It's out of the oven, so let's just dig in, give it a cut, see what it's gonna do, how it's gonna taste. All right, I'm a little worried that I didn't probably let it set long enough, but we'll find out. Oh yeah. Right onto the plate. That's a little ooey gooey and a little bit of cheese. That's gonna be good, y'all. All right, so here we go. That's kind of the way I wanna see it. I see onions in there. I see caramelized onions, green onions. That is worth waiting for. It's worth caramelizing those onions and making it work. Hey, look, y'all know how we roll. So I might do this, but what matters is what does my baby say? So, hey, babe, you gotta come on, check this out. We got frittata. Come on, come on. Hey, look, I'm gonna cut you another piece. Or you wanna just try that one?
I'll try that one.
All right, here. Dig in. Ooh. Here's a fork for you.
Thank you.
Jump in on that. So this one is just clean the refrigerator out. I've got a little bit of breakfast sausage, some caramelized onions, some green onions, put a few chives on top.
It's really good. It's nice and hot, full of flavor. Now is this, you use eggs or egg whites?
I use whole eggs in this one, so I know you like egg whites.
I like egg whites.
My baby likes egg white. Changes the texture a little bit, but the flavor stays about the same. Try it with egg whites too, but try it with whatever cheese you like. You love it? Hey, and y'all, we'll do a quiche another time, but for this one, this is just straight up frittata. Just clean out the refrigerator and just, hey, breakfast is on the table.
You did it again.
All right. Hey, try this one at home. If you got questions, drop me a comment. Be sure to like it. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time. We're gonna drop a video every week. We'll see you next week.